Hey, welcome to the First Issue Club podcast, where your weekly comic book podcast that covers crazy.
You know what? That's actually perfect for the year end.
The urine?
We just want to get it over with as soon as
2020,
possible.
fucking get out.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You are
See ya.
donezo, my friend.
Get out of my yard, 2020. Get.
Oh, man, I'd love to beat the shit out of 2020 if it came into my yard.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You be you, and I'll be 2020, okay?
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, you come over here, you little bitch.
what are you talking about? Who you calling bitch, bro?
Get over here. I'm gonna choke your ass out.
Okay, I'm calling. You don't have to tell me to get over here.
Requiring someone to come to you to choke them out.
Well, I warned you what's gonna happen. Now I'm gonna take you down until I got special torture devices.
I'm here, and I got the fattest neck on earth, bitch.
This is called a 90s car lighter. I'm gonna stick it in your eyeballs.
90s car lighter. Do they not make car lighters in cars anymore?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Really?
I
Yeah.
think they're
No.
all like converted into power source.
Oh, yeah. 'cause
They've
the
turned
only
into USB ports.
Yeah,
So you can charge your vape.
it's my torture device.
if you want to light a cigarette in your car, you bring a lighter.
Yeah, you have to bring a lighter.
I think, shockingly, it was like a safer alternative than open flame in your car.
Maybe
Just
so.
a hot coil to light your death stick
Did you guys ever burn yourself on them?
all the fucking
I
time.
had a Chevy Lumina that
I
when
think
it
I was the only one that was like, no.
I dropped that shit in my lap.
yeah, you know, like when it's ready, it pops back out. Mine would shoot out.
Like a fucking bullet.
Every once in a while, I'd forget, and it would like bounce off my fucking arm and land in my lap, and I'm like, shit.
So many deaths.
So you're gonna put that in my eyebrow? That's what you're gonna do, Dad?
2020, fine. You just do whatever you want.
Fuck yeah. 2020 reigns, bro. All right. So typically we are a comic book podcast. We're going to stay a comic book podcast this week, but since it's the last podcast of 2020, hallelujah, thank God it's over, we are going to do comic book industry resolutions. What are publishers, superheroes, ourselves looking forward to changing in the new year? We've all concocted some resolutions for our favorite comic book industry things, and let's entertain the idea.
All right, so let's hear it.
I'll go first. So one of my 2021 resolutions for my experience in comic books, I think it's no secret that I'm the bad boy of the podcast.
Yes, yeah.
I say the dirtiest words. I have the filthiest mind.
Sharpest
like,
pocket knife.
I am a short fuse on this show, and you always have to like make kind of sure I don't go too wild. One person, or I guess one entity that gets the brunt of my bad boyness is a publisher called Scout Comics. I like to dunk on them. I dunk horde. I go horde
You
on
think
them.
donk or dunk?
Either one.
I
I donk
mean-
and I dunk. Like, they're fucking in the lane and I go hard in the paint. So, like, get out my way, Scout. 2021, my vow is to be a little nicer to them. I think I miss the concept of what Scout Comics is. They're a area for people to bite their teeth, to kind of get into the industry, to just get their feet wet. And I'm treating them like Marvel, like they're seasoned vets in the game. And that's on me. I'll knock myself on that one. I need to be more open to the idea that not everyone is as acclimated to the industry that some of my favorite writers and illustrators are.
What a humble, beautiful way to kick off our comic book resolutions episode.
Bad boy Greg is gonna be bad boy no longer.
Yeah, Golden Boy. Greg.
Namaste, Greg.
I think maybe that could tie into one of mine, is that I think I should become the bad boy
Oh,
of the podcast, because I'd like to expand my horizons, and I feel like my stamp of approval over the years has come to mean nothing because I generally don't dislike anything. So, I mean, yeah, I'll see, maybe not just directed at Scout. Like, I could spread the love, but
Well, I mean,
I'll become the bad boy.
I mean, it makes sense. I think you're just primed for it.
People hate
We
you
live in
less.
such close proximity. In fact, we share the same bed.
I mean, I've learned from you how to be the bad
Sure,
boy.
yeah, certainly, yeah.
I have the skills.
You're my ward, essentially.
Well,
Yeah.
one of my resolutions for Marvel Comics is to include more trans characters in 2021.
Obviously, yes. I think that should be like industry wide. We need more representation.
Across the board, this would be great, right? I think Marvel is one of the worst perpetrators, or at least is the worst of the big two when it comes to that representation in comic books. They've done a good job with LGB characters,
Yeah.
right? But DC had a very popular character in Batgirl who was like a long-standing character, and they've involved characters and people into some of their shows even, right?
Yeah, I was thinking Supergirl and like just across the board, not even just in comics.
Right. And then I think I want to say the most prominent trans character that I can even recollect in Marvel was Angela's wife, Sarah.
Was New Warriors gonna have a trans character in it?
So you with Kibble Smith
Maybe?
is what you're talking about?
with Kibble Smith. Yeah.
I think there was going to be a lot of different representations with that book. It's been delayed so many
Is
times.
it even coming out anymore?
Not in 2020.
It might have been canceled. I don't know.
So there was maybe potential there,
But
but
still, like, do more. I think. Like, so that actually plays into one of mine. In all honesty, mine. I was gonna say, like, let's not lose the fire of the George Floyd light that's been shown on like all media.
Yeah.
And instead of just making it a 2020 thing where it's like, oh yeah, we got to be diverse, we're going to throw up a picture that's all black on blackout whatever it was day, that the industry in general paves more ways for BIPOC people to be creators, illustrators, and shown in the stories consistently, because that's the shit I want to see.
yeah.
Well, and just not like you don't have to wait for it to be a perfect opportunity either. Like the history months. You do
No.
not have to wait for that.
And I think the reader has to demand it and has to say, like, no, that's actually the type of stories I want to see, and when you do that, I buy more of your comics.
Yeah, because it's on us. You have to vote with your wallet. We know that that's what is driving most of these decisions.
So while we're on a kind of like a representation in comics kick, I'll just piggyback on that. Marvel and DC rip off Faith from Valiant.
Different body types.
Different body types in comics is something that's long overdue, especially from the big two.
That's a great point. There needs to be way more body representation.
Yeah. I would be dumbfounded if we got through 2021 and there wasn't some more fuller figured prominent characters that weren't like throwaways.
Or called Blob.
Right, or called the
Yeah.
Blob.
Or
Yeah.
Glob.
Yeah.
Or Glob
Or
or Blob.
Glob.
Right?
It's like, don't give them fucking funny ass names because they have a different
Yeah.
body than what's the quote unquote.
They're
norm.
not comic
But also
relief.
more glob in 20.
Yes, more Glob in 2021, please. Yeah.
All right, Greg, you're up.
So a thing that I am notorious for is being seduced by the siren song of the store variant exclusive cover. What those are, if you don't know, is sometimes retailers of certain comic book shops will get exclusive variants for their shop only. And they're in the range of $10 to $100. And usually they fucking slap. And they're so fucking rad. But I can't afford it anymore. I need to not just like get blinders on when I see these things. Like, there are cheaper options, and I don't really know if they're good for the industry, to be honest.
I don't know that they hold their value. Every once in a while you see one that kicks ass and people are like, we want this one. But there are tons of them that they're just such an obscure thing that the market for them is really soggy.
It's definitely volatile. Like, you get this inflated kind of market with the secondary market, like on eBay or wherever you go to buy your comics on the secondary market, that is just like not representative of what the book is actually worth.
Right.
And that's where I don't know if I want to be a part of that kind of atmosphere in the industry anymore.
Yeah.
Because it is a pitfall, and it really does prey on people who don't know a lot about comic books and what they're worth or what a comic is really supposed to be.
Yeah.
A comic book isn't a cover. A comic book is the story inside. Tells you something.
Just to clarify, are you saying you're gonna swear off actual store variants or just like 1 in 20 variants, 1 in 50 variants, like all ratio
What's the
variants?
resolution? Be clear.
Yes.
Thank you.
I want to hold you to
I need
it.
to not waffle. I'm just gonna state it here, black and white.
Or we're
It's
gonna stick you in ratio rehab.
It's
Ratio rehab. What? We've coined another great phrase here. You need ratio rehab, friend.
That's almost better than our kimchi.
No, no more $20 covers for you, bro.
It's the store exclusives. I can't do it anymore.
Got it.
Budget King, another resolution.
Is it? It's not your wonderful wife's
I
turn.
mean, I think I'm
I
gonna
thought
go.
we were, okay.
Skipping me and Caitlin.
I didn't. We went this way and then back
Did you
around.
see that micro expression? He literally went, and then like had to.
No.
I'm sorry. No, but wait, I'm not.
He's all of a sudden trying to like snake draft this thing.
Another one of my 2021 resolutions, we talk about it quite frequently, how it's way easier to essentially binge or to follow storylines through trades, but I don't put my money where my mouth is. And we keep buying, weekly issues, which I don't foresee us stopping, but my resolution is to buy at least 3 of stories that I'm really wanting to support and follow through and not fall off. And I think I'll probably end up doing more than that, but that's my base of like start a habit, buy more trades.
I 100% agree. My next resolution is for the independent comic book industry specifically. This resolution is to break legacy numbering on large titles.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, when you're looking at Spawn for the longest time has been issue 158, 102, 145. It doesn't give people like me a good queue of like accessible jumping on points. Marvel's so great at this. When they change a creative team on Spider-Man, they slap a number 1 on it and call it Volume 4. Why can't Spawn do that? Why can't Savage Dragon do that more often? Those are comics that I'm interested in, and I have nostalgia for the characters, but I have such a hard time finding those access points.
I think it's mostly Image though. Like there's not a lot of other indie comics that are numbering past 50 that I can think of.
Well, and to be fair, with the scenario you just gave, it's a new creative team coming in. They renumber it.
Yeah.
Spawn and Savage Dragon has had the same creative team since its inception.
Independents don't really change creative teams because they're creator owned, right?
Yes.
Like Invincible was always Kirkman. Eric Larson has always done Savage Dragon. Todd McFarlane.
Yep.
Well, Todd McFarlane less so on Spawn, but he's always been involved somehow.
That is true. Yeah. With Spawn, there's some muddiness, but like Saga or Walking Dead, like it's primarily been one creative team the entire way.
Nevertheless, I feel like from a sales perspective and a fan reading experience perspective, they would benefit from breaking into volumes more often.
Right. All right. Mine is an industry one as well. 2020 saw a lot of industry distribution disruptions, and then store stuff, anything retail and in person got hit hard. So my resolution is that publishers help comic book stores not have to make all of their money through trade sales. Most comic book stores have their loyal core audience that has a pull list and comes in and is sustaining, but they make most of their money through walk-up traffic of trades. And it would be nice if publishers thought, how can we get more new casual readers buying monthly things and make that experience better and sustain the industry more rather than the walk-through traffic on trades. So I think it's on the publisher.
So find new creative different ways to bring in better traffic and revenue. In 2021, do more things like Negan Lives.
Or Firepower, the way he did Firepower.
Let me just piggyback off of you two. I think
So much piggyback.
Get out of my little piggyback any day.
with what you're saying with the industry and comic book shops failing and the publisher thinking of new ideas of how to bring people in, I think we as a comic book community and comic book shop owners for 2021 and from going forward need to do better. Whether we know it or not, subconsciously or consciously, gatekeep the shit
Mm-hmm.
out of our shops, out of our books, out of our content, all of it. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in a shop and someone new comes in or a woman comes in and the whole fucking atmosphere changes in that place and it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And it's why we can't have nice things.
And it's why it's why we can't have nice things, and it's why more people are going to purchasing their books digitally and just digital comics.
Yep.
Like we need to flip the culture. And we need to be more inclusive, and we need to just bring it back to it being fun to go to a comic book shop, and it needs to be like a hub. It needs to be I know this is a liberal term, but it needs to be a safe space for people to come enjoy the culture and to get introduced to comics and other nerd stuff.
And
Get your snowflake cuck bullshit out of here, Greg.
I'm out of here. Biden 2021.
soy boy.
I love
even
being
if
called
it's
soy boy.
even if it's digitally, like I think that we can be better ambassadors, because I think too many times people take to social media to talk to people they already know are engaging with this stuff, instead of just being like, hey, person that I know who's really invested in these types of stories or characters, buy this book, or
Yeah.
this is something that is right up your alley. And just, I mean, even I know that you do this all the time, Budget King, but like even like I've given runs of things to my sisters or people who may not be going into shops or following accounts that I follow, but being better ambassadors about, hey, comics are way different than you think, and I can show you, here's an example, or here's something that I just know you're gonna like already.
And I think to like piggyback on that in some ways. I don't have another. I didn't want to say piggyback because this isn't a different idea. This is just a take. I think the comic book purchasing experience, or even like staying up on it, it needs to be more supportive of people who aren't just like alpha and super confident. Like, it needs to be okay to be unsure and be like, I'm just testing this out. I don't really know about it. I just want to be entertained, and not have to justify that.
You wouldn't go into like an FYE or something like to get a CD and be just railroaded if you didn't know everything about the genre you were looking in. It's just different the way that it's treated as a medium in shops. So I would agree. Like it can be okay to be like, I'm not even sure if this is where I should be picking up on this run. I feel like I don't really want to go back and go to the beginning, or like, but just be able to ask those questions and not get like scorned.
They should have comic book social workers. Each store should have a comic book social worker that
It's like
helps.
triage.
Yeah,
Okay, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
What do you need?
You just need a liaison.
This
You
is
need
a
like
resolution.
A concierge.
Yeah, every comic book
There
store
you go.
needs
It's a concierge.
yes, needs a government-funded comic book social worker for your comic book purchasing.
What are you looking for? Deadpool? Hold on.
How many
That is not.
How many
is that your social worker impression?
How many opiates
Roz
are you
from
on?
Monsters Incorporated?
Next take. Who's up? I don't even know anymore.
I
Is
don't
it
either.
Greg?
I'll start. We'll start here and go again.
Oh, great! You snuck another one in.
Ah. So we have been doing this show for 3 years now. First Issue Club.
Mm-hmm.
We specialize in covering first issues, bringing new readers into the first issues to get you into the comic book world and the landscape.
Oh boy, he's gonna try to pitch us on a
2021.
podcast change.
2021. I want to read a goddamn second issue. I haven't read a second issue. I don't know how most of these stories we've started progress.
It's a great point.
We talked about covering Road of Bones too as like a joke. It was like a middle of the road comic we thought was just okay, and we were like, how funny would it be if that was the second issue we covered?
People loved.
Yeah.
And did you know that also that was an episode where that was the only comic book we covered? So we gave a whole episode to that comic.
No, really?
Yeah. So we should go figure out where Road of Bones went.
Yeah.
Probably down the road
I think
of Bones.
doing a number 2 for a couple of books wouldn't be a bad thing. Maybe if it's even on Patreon.
I don't
but
even know if it's for the show. Just me personally. I haven't read a second issue of a comic
I
book.
just want to read one second issue. Well,
I've been so obsessed with
set
first
set
issues.
the bar low for yourself.
So my next resolution is for DC, and it's I want them to get to the bottom and finally just flesh out and find out what the relationship between Clark Kent and Superman is. There's like always these near misses. There's something there. Like and they just refuse to get to the bottom of it. Like, he comes in the room and he's always like, "Oh, where was Superman here? Like, did I miss him again?" Like, come on. This has gone on long enough. Like, a will they, won't they meet? I don't
Right.
know. I need them to get to the bottom of it.
That is a great point. Thank you for being so brave. In like,
I'm
kind
just
of,
going
like,
to call it
exposing
out,
this.
you know? Like, I'm embracing my bad boy already, I think.
That's what this comic book podcast is about, is calling things out.
There's something there, and I know it, and they can't hide it much longer.
You figured it out.
Be brave, DC. Address it. All right. My next resolution for 2021 is for Tony Stark, and it's try a new facial hairstyle.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes.
goat
Shake it up, bud.
He looks like such a fucking douchebag. Like
does.
that hairstyle does not translate into 2021. It didn't translate into 2012. Like, you look like a
didn't.
dirtbag.
Yeah.
Change your facial hairstyle for the time we're in.
That facial hair went with his Maxim subscription.
His
And his Axe
giant
body spray.
suits.
It looks like he posts up at Starbucks to sell insurance every day.
Even when Robert Downey Jr. had that hairstyle for the first Iron Man movie, it was like, yeah, he looks like Tony Stark, but he also
He
like
would be laughed at.
looks like I want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He looks like he's like a broker.
When they gave that character like a more full beard in the MCU, and it wasn't this like thin pencil line Fu Manchu into tiny goatee,
Some say pencil dick.
it looked so much better.
It was like a corporate Captain Jack Sparrow, like the way that manicured facial hair.
Yeah.
Now I'm on board. Get your hands on Tony, cast of Queer Eye.
That would be a fun comic book series. Like
They
overhaul
revamp,
superheroes.
they rebrand, revamp, get to the bottom
Oh
of.
my god, that'd be so fun.
Mine is no more teams.
Teens or teams?
TEAMS. I'm done
Okay.
with teams in general.
This is a resolution for you.
No, this would be a resolution for all of the
There's
comic
comic book writers.
try 2021 writing, but don't have any teams in it. Make it all individuals. That's more relatable to me.
Oh my god, how
What do you think
would
about
that work?
families? Are families teams?
If they're doing something, that's a good question actually. I hadn't thought of. That's okay. You broke one of my loopholes.
That's a caveat that
yeah.
you're okay with?
You can
Okay.
have a family.
Okay.
This is the worst resolution so far.
This is a hard one.
I've been so on board with all the other ones.
But you don't like no. I like the challenge of no teams.
A team is harder to write than a solo story.
Yeah, I want all solos, solo dolos.
So then no Avengers books.
Correct. Keep
like,
keep
like
it
they
going.
can't pay the rent on Avengers Tower, so it's just vacant.
Are you just
Yeah.
saying no new stories with teams? No new teams?
This is the event for 2021. You can't work together. It's all all survival of the fittest.
So that
I
does
was
that mean,
really
like, the
trying to help you out, but I'm
X-Men are,
gone
like,
now, too.
disbanded.
If the you
So
are.
there's just like X people now.
Yep. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and so but the
So
Fantastic
instead-
Four can
so-
stay together.
No more JLA.
So instead of 10 X-Men comics, I have to buy like
100.
400 of them.
Okay, so
every
what's
week.
going to happen is there's a COVID 20, and it only affects people with powers. So they all have to quarantine.
Yes.
They're all helping each other via Zoom.
And this is where I was going, Galen. I want superheroes. I want Wolverine to feel as lonely as I have
Oh my god.
He does, bub.
for the pandemic.
Believe me, he does. Here's a resolution for the comic book industry: do not bring up COVID. Do not bring up any pandemic
Great. Yes.
going forward.
I'm
I
good
lived
with
it.
it.
I don't want to fucking read it.
I'm
Same,
good with it.
it's exact same thing with TV shows right now that are doing the whole like we're living in COVID America. You're my escapism. I don't want to watch
Uh-huh.
COVID
Yeah.
happening on TV.
Yep.
Ratchet up the escapism and make more of it. Like, yeah. The only thing that is weird,
I
though,
want strangers fucking people licking each other's
In
ears.
payphone booths.
yeah, multiple buttholes.
Yeah. People,
Oh,
someone sneezing on the subway and no one gives a shit.
Mhm. Yeah, or they take a shit and they don't even care about that
Nope.
shit. No shit's given about the no shit.
Yep. People coughing into the air haphazardly
Just
with reckless abandon.
Those are the stories. I
What were you
want.
gonna say about the
oh,
exception?
I was gonna say that it. Do you guys find it weird? You watch a television show and they don't have masks on, or they're like really close to each other?
We've been
Sometimes.
watching old shows and we're just like, ooh, too close.
Yeah.
They're too close.
Oh,
So-
this will forever change our generation. I think. I think I'm always going to be weird about like shaking people's hands moving forward.
Every flu season, I'm probably gonna bust out that mask.
Why
Like,
not now? Now that I'm like used to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mask up. I was thinking like just throw more masks on and people in comics just because it's like it just seems like more like my reality. But you
I
know,
own like 30 masks now.
Yeah.
I might
yeah.
as well wear
I
them
have
next year.
I have more masks than I have pairs of underwear.
Well, and I've known
Same.
people
Two underwear.
prior to all of this happening that would wear one when they were feeling a little bit ill at like work.
Yeah.
And I remember having like a reaction of like, well, that's overkill previously.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, not at all. We'll
How-
totally do that.
How do you think going forward, like gas stations and general stores are going to counteract this? Obviously, we're going to eventually get a vaccine for COVID
Mhm.
where we're not going to need masks 24/7. But there are going to be those people that want to wear them as a precautionary thing.
And they're gonna say remove your mask.
Right.
What?
They can't
Why
just
would they
have
say
signs
that?
that say you can't wear masks.
Oh, because you might rob the place.
Right.
Oh.
There's the potential of, being
No more
robbed or
more
violence.
more robberies, I guess.
I don't know that I ever saw too many of those signs before.
Well, I usually see them around Halloween.
I haven't seen many robberies.
So you could say like no costumes,
That's one thing that COVID has
No
done. Cuts
costumed
down on robberies.
face masks.
No more dead president masks.
Yeah. If you walk in with a Ronald Reagan mask on, I know something's up.
Yeah.
That's okay. that's the
Just
key.
here,
Jimmy
just
Carter,
two
you're good.
Snapples for me, please. Just in a full.
I'm not a crook, but I want these corn dogs.
I need some Pall Malls as
Yeah.
well.
some
if you
Pall
could just.
Malls. Oh, Bill Clinton's here.
I will be paying. I won't be backing up my pickup truck and
It's
trying to get in their
debit.
cash register.
It's debit. I want 20 on pump 4.
I need 20 on 4, man.
I love this character goes in between the person not robbing and the actual president.
They're next to one another. It's just one teller's having a fine day, the other teller's having the worst day ever. And that's
Should
the
have put
Bill
that
Clinton
sign
one.
up, man. Should have
Yeah.
put that sign up.
No presidents. Shit.
No presidents.
None.
This is another one just for me. Like I need to follow an event start to finish.
That's a good.
Just to see what it's like, no matter how much it hurts. Like I've always shied away from them. They've always seemed too overwhelming and unmanageable. And I just want to say that I did it. I want to pick one and just stick with it. I don't know if it will be King in Black, but it'll be something.
That resolution overjoys me.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Just to see you go through the process of trying to track down all of the tie-ins, realizing how worthless they all are.
And then at the end,
It's
you
an
realize they
experience.
saved the world anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an experience I should just say I had, and maybe it will lead me to embrace future events and not just be like, ugh, another one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. That's a good one.
All right. Well, this is one of the ones I feel most passionate about. And I know you guys are going to agree with this one, but
More Ray Shrimmered.
more Ray Shrimmer comics. In 2021,
More taboo.
the Eisners resolved to be more fun for fans.
Oh yeah.
That is a fucking phenomenal.
It would be
resolution.
so easy.
It really would. You've got some of the most passionate people
Yes.
about what you're doing.
Make it a funny ass like award show.
Yeah, make it a fun award show that we can watch. Involve
Make
us
Chip
in,
Zdarsky host it.
yeah, involve us in the voting process. Yeah, people were familiar with like Chip Zdarsky being like the host of it. We can watch it online. We can interact and
Have
be involved.
performances. Like every other award show has figured it out that it's not actually about the awards. They can maybe do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You could
fucking
do
brilliant.
like best of cosplay even. Like you could do like
You
take
just,
what
you
has
fix
been
the scenery.
yeah, take what has been really the most fun parts about even conventions and bring that into it.
With as much money as comic books and comic book culture brings in, the fact that they haven't figured out a way to televise this or at least put it on like a streaming website, like
Yeah.
and kind of like make a whole big fucking deal about it and have some stupid ass red carpet that creators can walk down or whatever, like
A roll down.
is it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Sorry, that was so bad. I instantly regretted saying that.
It's staying in. I just think that's a fucking brilliant resolution.
That's
I
really
agree.
good.
That might be the
Appreciate it.
best one we
Yeah.
come up with.
You're on blast, Eisners.
Mine is I just want one indie retailer that isn't Image to be as good as Boom. Any of them.
Boom
Who's
is
gonna
so
step
good.
up? I think Aftershocks at the plate.
Scout could do it if they changed up their logo.
Nah.
Scout needs a couple more
Vault?
years to figure it out.
Need
Let me.
Vault's okay.
IDW, Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
IDW's
I feel like-
laid their bed and they got to sleep in it.
I think Dark Horse is already pretty quality. I think maybe just quantity.
Dark Horse has been a contender previously, but they just aren't doing it the way Boom has done it. For the last 2 years, I think Boom has been top. In my mind, when I think of, okay, not Image, indie retailer, it's just Boom. Like, they've weaseled their way into my life of when I'm like, oh, it's a Boom book, I should pick it up.
My next 2021 resolution is for Peach Momoko, and it's to chill on Dynamite covers.
On Dynamite covers?
Just cool it on Dynamite covers. Your stock is so high right now, and all you're doing is just killing it with all these fucking Dynamite covers.
Well, if all you do is covers, like she doesn't go into
I get like good for her for making money and getting hired to do all
Yeah.
these covers. That's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's like striking while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
You can't
She
really
sees dollar
falter for
signs right
that.
now, so
but
you
also
got to
like
go.
I love the advice of just like cool your brand a little bit. Like maintain your brand a little bit. Don't oversaturate yourself.
don't oversaturate yourself because Dynamite, not only are they hiring you for like every cover right now,
They're a shitty publisher.
they're a shitty publisher and they're doing like 20 versions of each piece of art you give them, and they're just oversaturating the cover landscape with your work.
Which, by the way, they don't see a dime of that.
She's getting paid once for this.
One time.
And they're making virgin covers, black and white covers, inverted color covers, virgin and trade dress of each one of those. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Cut Dynamite off.
I have a resolution for Dynamite. Knock it the fuck off.
Yeah. Stop making comics, I guess.
Okay, let's take a Betty Page number 4. Let's randomly Betty Page number 4. It does not need 16 variants. Dynamite. Who the fuck is buying these?
If you paid
Somebody has to be.
$60 for the H cover of Betty Page number 4,
I actually just want to meet you. Like I want to know who you are.
I want to interview you.
Yeah.
Put it up on our show.
Like you have so much expendable cash. You must be a hoarder.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Just
because
complete
it's still
completionist.
Yeah. Even the why of how they do it doesn't justify Dynamite continuing to do it for me. Like, they will buy something else, and you still don't have to ruin or oversaturate. You know,
Yeah.
they'll buy something else.
Sell Vampirella and sell Evil Ernie, and then close your doors. We're done.
Take 2021 off.
We're done, dude. Someone else can do it better than you.
Go buy a tiny house on the Gulf Shore and kick up. You did it.
Take your Comicsgate bullshit elsewhere, bros.
Yeah, later. A resolution for Scotty Young: no more baby covers.
The thing he does,
Let them
just
grow
the thing
up.
he does. Just
Draw
stop
tweens.
doing it.
Draw tweens.
Tweens. Tween covers is the next craze for 2021.
How great would that be? Pimples all over the place,
Awkward.
braces,
The awkward ears.
like Wolverine with his first pube.
One
as a
pube.
variant cover.
Oh yeah, one pube Wolvie.
Scotty Young, grow them up. You've done all the babies. Every Marvel character ever in existence has been babified.
That's a fun resolution. I like it.
Tween it up. Worked for Hannah Montana.
Or, do the Jerry crowd. Make them all old. We have,
Oh yeah,
Jerry's.
fucking flip it.
yeah,
Flip the script.
yeah.
Geriatric Marvel characters.
You like that?
You always do this to me. Like I've got some
I
sort
was
of
waiting for
hard-on
it.
for old people. Always.
You know what? What's so wrong with that? Budget
There's
King?
nothing. All I like to know is like what do people like, and I do.
And I do.
You make it sound like every time that Mike D sees anyone over 75 walk down the street,
Ooh la la.
he like salutes them.
You're the greatest fucking generation, sir.
How brave!
It's an honor and a privilege to share the sidewalk.
Can I say
Skechers shape-ups look fantastic, sir.
I didn't
Can I
serve
say
in the military.
that your first reaction to that was ooh la la? Which I like way better than saluting.
I'm like, Gilf. Gilf. Yo,
Yo,
Ooh la
Midge, I
la.
like that shake.
My resolution is for comics to have more water and fruit.
excuse me.
What? Go on.
Oh,
Do
you're
go
already
on.
laughing at your own
Do
thing.
go on, please. I need more.
They're not healthy. They need to be more
Yeah,
regular.
I would think like it just seems like kids read these things and then they mimic what happens in comic books in their own life.
Mm-hmm.
Kids aren't drinking enough water and they aren't eating enough fruit. There's a lot of gout going on. Or is that what you get? Scurvies.
Gout is if you eat too much meat.
There we go.
Scurvy.
Scurvies.
Plural.
There's an epidemic right now of kids with scurvies.
Moving on. You know what? I'm gonna cut it there.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea, actually.
Oh, resolution for DC. Add more M&M ads in your book.
Oh, Snickers ads.
Snickers.
Fucking get rid of the Snickers
Yes.
ads, please.
Or you know what? Maybe just make it a straight up ad. I don't need it to be a comic.
Yes.
Make a Snickers man.
What a gift. Every time I turn the page and start reading that gross brown background comic, I'm like, fuck you.
I want to meet the person that reads that, is fooled, and then goes and buys a candy bar because of it.
Everyone
Look, I have
hates
read.
it.
I am currently very pregnant, and I've read some of these very late in my day. I'm not going to say I've never been fooled, all right?
Okay, you could be
But it's
fooled.
not like for the whole thing.
But the closing is not great. Nobody gets bamboozled into buying a candy bar.
Well, if the flask runs faster after drinking a Milky Way, I guess I should just go have
Did you say
one.
drinking a Milky Way?
How was she supposed to ingest it?
Well, and there's nothing like reading a dark and gritty DC comic and then turning the page and it's like, if I could just get a sugary treat.
Aquaman, you're not yourself. Have a Snickers.
Okay, I will say this.
Next page, Bane snaps Alfred's head off. It's like so stupid in
What
the
a
middle.
transition.
Like tonally, it just does not work in DC Comics.
So what's funny is this is actually one of my real ones is bring back some 90s gimmicks like polybag and throw trading cards and stuff.
Oh,
Ooh, that would
fun.
be cool.
Very
I'd be
into that.
Yes.
Get us into it. And then in that I was thinking of other ways to save some of-
foil covers.
Great. Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, full on like foil covers.
Yes.
But then straight up product placement. Like, don't do the ad. Like, have them drinking like a Diet Coke and Diet Coke paid to be in my comic. Great. I don't care.
If
Yeah.
it makes them money, they can keep doing what they want to do.
Yeah. I
As
think
long as it's not rampant.
I remember a thing from the 90s where with polybags, sometimes they would have posters in them that
Yeah.
corresponded with the comic. I love that.
My best Magic the Gathering cards came from polybag.
As a kid, that was the allure of like, I get a comic book and an other thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you want new readership, especially younger readership,
Throw some bubble gum in
fucking
there.
put a bird on it. I don't know. Like, make it more enticing.
You know what? I don't understand why IDW isn't doing that all over the place.
I don't know why Dynamite is it.
They're already licensing a shit ton of
That's
brand.
a
Like,
great call for IDW.
why aren't they doing that?
Yeah. There should be a little Ninja Turtle keychain
Yes.
in the bottom of every
Yes.
comic. Yeah.
And I would probably buy way more of those.
Everybody
I'm
would.
not gonna lie.
Honestly, like, fuck, man. All the comic book people that make comics, they should be paying us right now. We just saved their fucking industries.
We saved the Eisners. We saved IDW.
Anyone else have any other resolutions?
Cut water and fruit. Fuck me, right?
Actually, that was fine.
Yeah.
Water and
it's-
fruit's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. So my final 2021 resolution that I came up with for myself was to give it the old college try and just become a superhero. I've been on the dark web. I've researched I've got some serums coming. I figure I could do like a video doc series and just like keep people apprised of my progress. Some of them, they're not going to work. They're not going to pan out, but like,
We just got a box in from Norway of these black widows that have been microwaved for a minute.
I'm
and we're
excited
gonna let
about
them
that.
bite us.
I think there's potential
You
there.
should Facebook Live when Greg has to inject them into your ass.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's going on the OnlyFans.
Yeah. The first issue Club
First issue of
OnlyFans.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's another
We read
resolution that I
books
have is I'm
naked.
going to set up an OnlyFans for us. But yeah, so we'll just see how that journey goes, and hopefully it gives us some stories to tell.
All right, I'm gonna rapid fire some of mine because I wrote a ton.
Hit me.
Digital comics retailers lower the cost of digital comics. There's no reason they should cost the same as printed comics that trees died for.
Agreed.
Digital comics for sure. Physical comics, maybe a buck lower.
Yeah. Marvel, cardstock covers.
Yes! Oh, yes!
Right? 2021, when I'm holding a DC cardstock cover in my hands, I love it.
It's a better experience.
It's so much better and it feels so nice.
We shit on that, but it ended up being
We initially
we shit on it because they charged you a buck
buck
more.
more.
Right.
$1 more.
Right.
They haven't changed that.
They haven't, but it's still a better. It's a better.
So we're
process.
saying Marvel, do it. Don't charge more for it.
Yeah.
That would be ideal for me, but I'm to the point where I buy so many of my DC comics as the card stocks just because I like them, and like DC uses really thin, crinkly paper for their A covers, and it gets bent so easy that the card stock, you just don't have to worry about that stuff.
And also, their B covers are typically better than their A covers.
I agree. Which leads me to DC second printings. Better covers, please.
Yes.
All you're doing is like barely changing the color on second printings. Go the Marvel route and get another artist or interior art and just do something different with the second printing. James Tynion, grow Punchline.
Yes.
We've seen some of Punchline. My hope in 2021 would be that we continue to explore that character. If she doesn't have any more depth, that would be a huge disservice to what we've gotten so far. A lot to explore there. Batman, 2021, kill somebody.
Fucking kill
Fucking
someone.
kill someone. You started as a character with a gun.
I know.
Batman used to walk around with a fucking gun and kill bad guys, throw guys off of buildings, and shoot dudes in their faces. Batman, kill somebody
Even
in
if
2021.
it's self-defense, I don't care.
Yes, please. You have to grow as a character and person and do something permanent for once in your life in modern comics.
Yep.
Please kill somebody. Nick Spencer, resolution for you. Peter Parker, overdue for a more permanent change. There's not a lot of things that have happened in Spider-Man in recent years.
Are you
that-
thinking butthole?
Yeah, he needs a second butthole.
It's
Maybe
guaranteed to freshen things up.
8 buttholes? He's a spider?
Oh yeah.
yes.
Bring back
Delve more
multiple
in-
armed Spider-Man.
Delve more into that anatomy piece. We need to know what else he's got multiple of.
So
Right.
I'm just like Spider-Geddon. I thought we were gonna like that event was so fun and it was great, but instead of having like repercussions, it just opened up the world more to have like more characters. Use an event like Spider-Geddon to clean up the timeline. I just hope that like we would do something like kill someone off or clean some stuff up that would have a lasting effect on the character, please.
I can only imagine at the Marvel office when things like Spider Island or Spider-Geddon are happening, or Renew Your Vows. It's a logistical fucking nightmare
Totally.
to try to track all those people, especially with other Marvel books interacting with Spider-Man on such a regular basis. That
Yeah.
has to be such a mind fuck.
Well-
But I agree with you. Like, something needs to happen with Spider-Man to give it more impact. When Gwen Stacy was dead for a long time,
Yep.
that was great.
Yep.
Because it added weight to the character.
Now there's 40 other Spider-Mans in the same universe as Peter Parker right now. Next resolution for Scout. Right now, their imprint for kids is called Scoot. That sounds like
Scoot or
it sounds
scoop?
like a name for babies.
Are you
Like
kidding me?
babies like scoot on their butts
Yeah.
around a
Or
room.
scat?
It should be called Scout's Honor.
I love that.
Oh.
That seems like in the pitch room, that should have been the first thing someone said, and everyone in the room should have been like, "That's fucking it, Scouts Honor." It works for Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts.
Dog
That's like
Scouts.
the age you're going for. Scoot is like I'm wiping my diaper shit butt on the
Across
ground
your
because
floor.
I can't walk yet.
Yeah. Scat could be their black label.
Oh,
Yeah.
Scat.
Sorry.
Scout Scat. Their black label. Heroes in general. Resolution for 2021. More pets.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't our heroes have more pets?
Like our president-elect.
Exactly
Correct.
right.
Bring dogs back to the White House.
We
Dogs,
America
water,
needs
fruit.
dogs.
We need.
Dogs, water, fruit.
We,
Can we first
That's
issue
the
club's-
mantra.
First issue club's first T-shirt might be dogs, water, fruit.
2021 dogs water fruit.
2021.
Oh man, if there's a comic that has a dog, water, and fruit, oh, I might have to commit a trifecta.
Most comics probably have water somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Drinking of water
All
is
right,
implied, I think.
Jonathan Hickman, more info on this Wolvie, Marvel Girl, Cyclops throuple.
Yeah.
That needs its own fucking book.
Yeah, I need to explore that more.
They did a whole couples fucking retreat for Rogan.
Yeah.
Do Cyclops and,
Please give us something
Wolverine?
else.
Just call it Three's Company.
We don't know if they fuck or not. All we know is I think we know Wolverine and Cyclops both have are at least emotionally involved with Jean.
So like when you're polyamorous, not everyone in the couple has sex with one another,
Right.
but you are
emotionally
Well,
all
it's
in
not
a
a
relationship.
Well,
rule that you
that-
have to.
Yeah.
Some do.
I understand that, but when you were saying thruple, that leads me to believe that they're all in a relationship together. If you were just saying
Correct.
They could be.
Jean is poly and Wolvie and Cyclops play along, I get it.
I think they're
I don't-
poly for that group specifically. Like
So
they
all-
don't search out other people. They're so interconnected.
It's their pod.
Yeah.
Image, more variants. I think that we've been surprised a couple times on like, wow, Image had 5 variants for this comic. Like that doesn't happen that often, but when it has, I'm like, cool. There's actual like options for Image comics. If any publisher besides Marvel and DC validates having cooler covers or like let's say even connecting covers or blank covers, it's Image Comics. So Image. Feel yourself with variants.
Well, they've done
I'm okay
with
with it.
Bitter Root. They did a great job. Bitter Root had amazing variants.
It did. They
And,
did the homage ones.
And Ice Cream Man has been doing all the Dr. Seuss
Ice
stuff.
Cream Man. Oh my God, that book is
But-
also a great variants. Incredible.
But they typically do an A and a B cover,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, go crazy. I think Image deserves to go crazy, and I think the comic book community would support it.
Sure.
Thank you. I've been Mike D. That was my
Brilliant.
onslaught. I appreciate you guys entertaining my 2021 resolutions.
And if you're listening, we want to hear your resolutions.
Yes.
This is a fun thing. We want to keep the conversation going. So find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. We want to hear your resolutions.
You
This
can
is a
do
fun time.
you can do better than Fruit Water Dog. I'll tell you that right
I
now.
doubt it, but you can try.
Sometimes the simplest ideas are the greatest ideas.
I would 100% agree.
Fruit, water, dog. Fruit, water, dog. Fruit, water, dog. Fruit, water, dog.
See you next year.
Goodbye.